All right, so today we're doing a deep dive into something I know a lot of you have been really wanting to master, and that's async await in JavaScript.
Yeah.
It's all about making those tasks that can take a little time, like fetching data or
Yeah.
dealing with large files, work smoothly without holding up your entire application.
Mm-hmm.
So everything doesn't just freeze while you're waiting.
Right.
Now, you've probably already come across promises in your JavaScript journey.
For sure, promises are like the foundation.
Exactly, they are.
Sure.
But think of async await as like taking that solid foundation and building this sleek, modern structure on top of it.
Yeah.
It's like next level stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So really what I'm curious about is how does this async await actually make our lives easier as developers? I mean, it can't just be about making our code look prettier, can it?
Oh, it goes way beyond just aesthetics.
Okay, good.
Imagine you're crafting this complex web application. You've got data streaming in from multiple sources, the UI needs constant updates, and maybe you've got some heavy processing happening in the background. With those traditional promises, things can get messy.
Oh, yeah.
Like callback hell, messy, you end up with this deeply nested code that's harder to read than ancient hieroglyphics.
And probably just as hard to debug, too.
Absolutely. Async await swoops in and lets you write code that feels much more natural, almost as if it were synchronous. Easier to follow, easier to maintain.
So basically less spaghetti code, fewer headaches. I mean, who wouldn't want that?
Right.
But can you give us like a real world example, something that really brings this async await magic to life?
Okay, picture this. You're building a social media feed.
Okay, love it.
You need to display user profiles. So you write an async function. Let's call it fetch user profile, right?
Mm-hmm.
It fetches the user's data from your API. Here's the cool part. You use the await keyword, and it's like saying, hold up, pause everything until that data is fetched, and then your code just picks up like it was synchronous all along.
So it's like we're telling the code, hey, just chill out and wait for this to finish before you move on.
Exactly.
Okay, that seems super intuitive. But what happens when you need to fetch multiple things? Like, say you want the posts and the comments for the feed.
Right.
Do you just keep using await, like over and over?
You absolutely can. That works perfectly when you need things to happen in a specific order. First, get the posts, then grab the comments. But let's say you want to speed things up, make it snappy for the user.
Yeah.
You can kick off multiple requests at the same time concurrently.
Right.
That's when you bring in the big guns, promise.all.
Uh-huh.
It's awesome. You give it an array of promises, it waits for all of them to resolve, and boom, you get back an array of all the results. Imagine it as a team of asynchronous workers all fetching data for you simultaneously.
So await for when you need things in order. Promise.all for when you want to blast through things quickly.
Yep. It's about choosing the right tool for the job.
Speaking of tools,
Yeah.
we can't forget about the ever-important error handling.
Oh, absolutely crucial.
Because in the real world, things don't always go as planned.
Never.
Websites crash, servers go down, coffee spills on keyboards.
All the time.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is where async await really shines. You know the try.catch block. It's our good old friend from synchronous coding. It comes to the rescue here, too.
It does.
Yeah, the code that could potentially throw an error, you put that in the try block. If anything goes wrong, boom, the catch block grabs it.
Oh, okay.
This way you handle errors gracefully. Network hiccup, timeout, unexpected data from the server. You can log the error, display a friendly message to the user. You could even try the request again.
So it's like having a safety net built right into our code.
Exactly.
I like that. Are there any specific types of errors that we should be extra careful about when working with these async operations?
Oh, definitely. Network errors, those are super common, especially when you think about mobile apps where the connectivity can be a bit, flaky.
Yeah.
Timeouts, that's another one. You don't want your app just hanging there indefinitely, waiting for a response that might never come. And don't forget to validate the data you get back from the server.
Oh, right.
Unexpected data can lead to a whole cascade of errors down the line.
That makes sense. Yeah. So it sounds like there's a lot to think about, but having this structured way to handle errors makes me feel way more confident tackling async await. Any other kind of tips or tricks that we should keep in mind?
One thing that can trip up even seasoned developers is forgetting about error handling when you're dealing with nested async functions.
Oh, yeah.
Each function in that chain needs its own little try.catch block, just to make sure those errors are caught at the right level.
Gotcha.
And when you're thinking about performance, be strategic about how you use promise.all. It's a powerhouse for parallel execution, but sometimes going sequentially is actually more efficient, especially if you're working with limited resources.
It's really interesting. So async await It's not just about cleaner code. It's about making things more robust. It's about performance. It feels like a total game changer for building those interactive web applications that everyone loves. The ones that are smooth, responsive, and to work.
Absolutely. It empowers you to create truly delightful user experiences. Now, I'm curious, thinking about everything we've discussed, how do you see this impacting your own approach to web development? How might you use Async Await to enhance the user experience?
That's a fantastic starter. I'm already thinking about all the ways I can use it to create smoother, more responsive interfaces and how to handle those hiccups that happen in the real world way more gracefully. I can't wait to put all this into practice. So until next time, everyone, happy coding.
Happy coding.